How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm your host, Jesse Morgan, aka Slammerella, and today we have that interesting unboxing I was kind of hinting at from the last video, and today I'm going to be opening up some Demonia boots. They are basically custom leather, alternative, or goth, if you want to call them that, boots for people with eccentric tastes and just want to have that extra oomph to go with their outfit. I've seen a few unboxings and reviews online. Most of the reviews are them taking it out of the package, saying, ooh, this looks cool, and then no update. There's no like talk about like what the quality is like from 2 weeks from that video, 5 months from that video, a year from that video. So what I figured I would do different is, one, show off a different pair of boots that I haven't been able to see an unboxing of a review on YouTube for, and two, maybe do some intervals of how the wear and tear actually go with these boots, because I haven't seen anyone do that yet. And the only thing I've heard of complaint wise is maybe the sole separating from the bottom of the foot or whatever. So anyways, let's get to the unboxing. Comes in a huge ass package. There we go. Just so you can see how ridiculous the size of this is, but with good measure, because the shoes, or boots rather, are actually pretty big too. And I didn't get these straight from Demonia, which I believe are based in the States. I got them from shoefreaks.ca or .com, which are based out of Montreal, Quebec City, I think. So Quebec in Canada. And the shipping time was pretty quick. I was expecting maybe 2 or 3 weeks to get to me. No, it came in...
We ordered Friday.
We ordered Friday, and the day I'm recording this now is Wednesday, so this will probably be up maybe Friday this week, so I can space my videos out and give you guys something to watch. But yeah, so it came really quickly. I'm pretty happy with how fast that shipped out, considering the pandemic and everything. But yeah, so let's actually get into this package, shall we? All right, so how am I gonna do this? Oh wow, this really doesn't want to stay together. Alright, so there we go. There's the box there with the Demonia logo. The boots really want to fall out of this thing. Okay. So, there we go. Demonia logo. It's official now. Okay. Each boot, from what I've seen in the unboxings that I've watched, comes individually wrapped, and the same has happened with mine. They're both individually wrapped. So let's do one at a time here. Come in a plastic cellophane wrap inside a paper logo printed aesthetic purpose insert, I guess. Alright, so there we go. There's the wrap. And here is boot number 1. Now, these boots are the Riot, I believe, 21. And yeah, so the Riots are a knee-high combat boot, basically, with a bunch of buckles on the side and some kind of cool, I don't know what you'd call that, cyberpunk metal plating, gothic metal plating. Just basically rock star boots. So fits well with being a musician, I guess. And I would have loved to wear something like this on stage back when I was in a actual full membered band, when people were actually allowed to play live shows. So yeah, these would have been awesome for back then. Hopefully one day I'll be in a full membered band again and be able to rock these on stage. But until then, there's going to be pandemic survival boots. especially during the winter, because it's quite the wasteland up here in Canada during the winter. So yeah, first impressions, these are a lot, well, not a lot, but definitely chunkier and beefier in real life compared to the pictures that you see online. The foot profile looks a little bit like slimmer and not as chunky, thick soles. So yeah, you can see how grippy the bottom looks there. Definitely some shit kickers for sure. The bottom kind of comes with a screwed in plate that does say Demonia. If I can find an angle that'll actually show you guys. There we go, that's the best I'm going to get, but there's a little metal oval plate there screwed into the sole that says Demonia. So that's pretty cool. These metal plates are pretty thin, and if you put some pressure on them, you could probably bend them in more of a C shape and round them out. I don't know if I want to do that right now. I'll see how these go flat wise for now, and they're in good condition. The buckles and everything are in good condition from what I can see from opening this up. Once you get all the buckles in place where you need, this boot, they're all at the tightest you can get setting right now, which will probably fit my leg fine because I have a pretty skinny leg. I don't need monstrous calves or anything like that. So as you can see, the zipper's on the side, and I like zippers on the side personally because I feel like the zipper on the back would make it more easier to break. Don't know why I feel that way, but I just kind of feel like it would. The tongue that I'm trying to grab here for you has a stamped, imprinted Demonia D, and that around the circle there. I actually don't know what that says. Let's read this, shall we? Defining alternative footwear since 1999. And I'm assuming those are safety pin logos. But yeah, so apparently been around since 1999. That's cool. I don't know if I would have guessed they would have been around earlier or later. Seems about right. Although I feel like they might have been around earlier, but then it could have been a different brand. Anyways, what I'm yammering on about is Nick from Fallen Legion and Lilith Spawn back in the day. He actually had some platform boots that were pretty like rockstar looking and crazy. I don't know if his were Demonia or if his were something else. Maybe if he ever watches this video, he can let me know. But yeah, so they are basically saying this is alternative fashion. Not necessarily goth, but I mean, look at this. It's black leather and buckles. It definitely has a goth aesthetic for sure. So the zipper was easy to unzip so far. I got these in that size, and these are sized in men's size. So these are men's size 11, women's size 12 in the US and Canada because we're the same footwear. Made in China apparently, but honestly, that only matters if it's from shops in China that are like slave labor or penny factories or stuff like that. These seem to be made really well. And speaking of the leather, I kind of skipped over it, but the leather itself is vegan leather. It's not cowhide or rawhide or anything like that. So it's going to be a little bit easier to break in, not as stiff as regular leather, and the quality isn't going to be as tough or as rugged, but at least it's cruelty free. No animals died in the making of these boots to make me feel fancy, so that's nice at least. Not to say that I wouldn't buy them if they weren't genuine leather, because I would anyways because of the way they look, and I like the way they look more than I care about them being made or not made from cows. But yeah, it's at least they're cruelty-free boots, so you can not feel bad about wearing them if you care about that kind of thing. And yeah, so once again, I haven't seen a review for these Riots done yet. A lot of the boots I see by Demonia are either the short fit creepers, the swing boots, which are are basically like this, but in women's sizes. The plates are a little bit more square and less rectangular, and the sole is like a fucking chunk. It is a huge platform with the swings, at least the ones I'm thinking of. And then there's the trash fill, which Mandible Bone did a review on, and I believe his name is Jay. They're a cool trans punk person here on YouTube that I watch. They do DIY stuff and talk about different issues. But yeah, they got trash fills, and they're sort of like the swings, and they've got giant fucking platforms. I think 5'10 or 5'11, so I don't need 4 or 5 inch platforms. I don't feel like being 6'5". That's a tall ass bitch. So yeah, I don't really feel like being that tall. I just want some cool looking combat boots. So there we go. That is this boot. I guess I'll pull out the other one just so you guys can take a look, but they're basically exactly the same. So there we go. Here's the other boot. Same cellophane, same logo, emblazed paper wrap. These aren't done all the way up. Some of them are pretty close, but yeah, these ones are all kind of random, it looks like. So yeah, and again, I prefer the zipper on the side of these things. And I guess I should explain why. Because when you're walking with the boot, you're getting a lot of flex and pressure on the heel. So if the zipper is on the heel, I feel like the contact part with the glue and the stitching probably won't hold up as well if it also has to deal with a zipper in the back and constantly bending and moving like this. Whereas if the zipper's on the side, there's not going to be much flex or potential for damage there. So that's my logic and reasoning for that. The boot itself is a matte finish, leather, vegan leather. What else can I say about this? I also, I guess, wasn't expecting this. There is this kind of like pellet looking ridge all the way along the edge of the boot. So that's interesting to go along with the black stitching. And it was an interesting aesthetic that kind of was on here that you don't quite see on the Shoe Freaks or Demonia site. I suppose if you zoomed in you might notice that, but that's just one thing that kind of stood out to me aesthetically that I didn't realize was there in the first place. Also, the toe cap isn't steel toe, but it is fucking hard, and you're not, like, someone's really gonna have to stomp on your foot to put an indent on there. I'm gonna be pissed because of the scuff mark that they leave, but honestly, that's another thing too before we go on to me trying on the boots and walking around on them, because I'm going to do some shots of that too. A lot of people, when they get these boots, start complaining that, oh, there's a scuff mark here or there, or oh, the plates are a little scratched up. Are you kidding me? That's your complaint about these things? Honestly, in my opinion, scratches and wear marks and whatever else like that, superficial scuffs and shit, only add character to the boots. And I like that whole steampunk wasteland post-apocalyptic vibe anyways. So the more these get worn and the more they get fucked up, the cooler that's going to be to me. So yeah, if one of your thing is like, oh, they got to be pristine and polished and look like they've never been worn, then you might as well never wear the damn things. I plan on wearing the shit out of these. So yeah, no complaints here about scuffs or scratch marks or blemishes. That just fucking makes them cooler to me. So that's it for my first impressions and kind of eyeballing look at review and explaining what they look like and whatnot to you. Now let's go to some shots of me trying on the boots and seeing how they fit, and I'll let you know at the end of the video how I felt about that. And you can let me know if you have a pair of Demonias and what you think of them, and I will in the future be doing probably a month update, 6 months update, and a year update, depending on how much wear and tear I do on them. If I don't wear these that much within a week, I'm probably not going to do that. If I don't wear them too much within the month and there's not much change to them, I might not do that, but I'm going to at least do like at least a 6-month update and then a year later update, just so you guys can see if these hold up and how well they hold up and if it's worth it. These do range around 200 Canadian, so hopefully they hold up well. Like I said, the worst thing that I've seen is when you get the giant fucking platform ones that the heel might not stay on too well. But that's another thing. When I've seen these people do the reviews, they're jumping in your platforms. Why are you jumping when you have platforms like that? They're platforms. They're not moon boots. You're not meant to boing around and spring with them. Stop jumping in your platforms and then complaining that the heels come off. All right, let's go to those try-on shots. All right, so here we are. We're gonna pull them out of the package and try them on. I got some proper pants on this time instead of orange Argyle skinnies. So here we go. We're just gonna take them out. This one is laced up, or not laced up, buckled up properly. So we don't need to do that one. We will need to do up the other one though. Of course the cats want to see what I'm up to. Alright, so this is the one that needs to be done up. So we're just going to do this quickly. On this side, tighten them all up to the furthest they'll go. Hopefully don't rip off the straps in the meantime. I don't actually have too much experience with vegan leather, so I kind of have an instinct to be extra careful with it. I don't know if you need to or not, but I feel like maybe you do. Let me know in the comment section if you guys have any experience with vegan leather. I don't know why I'm doing it in the box. Also, I want to mention that the tongue on the inside of this is kind of free moving, unlike I think the swing or the trash bill that I think are actually stitched on one side. But the tongue in this one is free moving, so if you have one of those issues with tongues moving all around inside your boot, this might be a thing that you might not enjoy. Although I've also heard complaints with the one that's stitched right in that if you have wider calves, there will be like a little strip of your leg showing if you need to loosen up the buckles. So depending on what calf type you have, a free flowing tongue might be a good thing or a bad thing. For me, I think it's a good thing that it's free flowing. Otherwise, if I had to do all of these straps all the way up without it being free flowing, I feel like it would stick weird on the inside. I feel like it's already doing that anyways. Alright, so like I said, there's a zipper on the side. Let's get in these things. Or not. We're going to take the stuffing out. I'm assuming that's to keep the shape of the boot, but really, once again, the toe's really stiff and hard, so I don't really think it really needs the stuffing to keep the shape. Up the side. And the next one. All right. Give the tongue a good yank. All right, so, ooh, those are gonna take a bit of use too. Those are the boots done up. The sides. Gonna walk a bit in them, see how they feel. Step on my cat. Okay. The soles are very grippy, so trying to spin in place and turn, not happening as easy as I thought. So, the first thing that I notice about these is that if you have wide feet, I can kind of feel my foot touching a little bit on the side on there. Not so much on here. I think maybe my right foot might be a little bigger than the left one, but yeah. So mostly good. There's a little bit of slippage in the heel and ankle part because these are size 11, but you're not really supposed to wear them with ankle socks, which is what I'm kind of doing. You should probably wear them with some either sports socks or just socks that you can pull all the way up. Yeah, all in all, they feel pretty good. They were pretty warm in the summer, I think, though. Guess we'll find out. But yeah, that's the Riot 21s, I think. Done up. Give me an extra inch taller too, so I'm definitely 6 foot now. It'll be interesting to see how these actually fit with some like skinny jeans instead of leggings, but I like them. We'll have to see how they do after a month or 6 months of wearing them out, wearing them in. Once again, probably will wear them with normal length socks and maybe buy some insoles for them if they need it. Right now they don't feel too bad. It's just getting used to the size and the bulkiness of them. Yeah, definitely get used to your balance in them, that's for sure. That's it for the wearing test. All right, and there we go. There was the example of me putting them on, wearing them around the little hallway there, telling you how they feel. And once again, on the sides, they were a little, not tight, but I could feel it like snug-ish up against my foot. They definitely wouldn't want to be any smaller for me. I would be roughly a 10.5, but with how kind of narrow these boots are, or how they feel on the inside, I feel 11 was probably the best choice. And again, you got to make sure there's at least a finger space on each side of your foot to allow for comfortability. Socks, insoles, maybe a little bit of swelling if you're walking around for too much. So yeah, going up half a size for me was the right move, thankfully. I wasn't wanting really big boots because I don't want clown feet looking boots. So I'm kind of glad that they don't look all that big once you're, you know, in there and wearing them. But yeah, so once again, going up to 11 instead of a 10 was a good idea. Again, glad that the zipper's on the side instead of the back. Just gives me kind of that ease of mind knowing that there's not going to be too much pressure put on the zipper part and the tongue on the inside. If you're not a fan of free-flowing tongues, it might not be the greatest for you, but also I've heard complaints that if it's attached to the side via stitches, if you need to open up this like one side because of big calves, there might be a little bit of skin showing. So I'd prefer the free-flowing tongue, even though there's risk of it sliding down in the boot. But I feel like if your boot's tight enough, the tongue will cling to your leggings or your pants or whatever you wear, so it won't be too bad, I don't think. Once you get your boot set up the way you want it, if you do have a problem with the tongue sliding down, it wouldn't be too difficult to just kind of put a couple of stitches in where the seam is here to make it look a little bit invisible and just have the tongue stick there, and it'll be fine. And before I go, they only gain character the longer you wear leather boots. So I can't wait to see how these shape up after 6 months to a year or longer. Can't wait to tell you guys my experience with them. If you're any good at DIY stuff, the thought of your boots kind of slowly aging and needing repair only intrigues me more, because I like to see what I can do with things to keep them going and repairing them. Because I'm more of the mind of don't ditch it, stitch it. Don't ditch it, fix it. Because the more clothes age, the cooler they kind of look, in my opinion. But yeah, so these are the Demonia Riots with buckles on the one side, plates on the front, and the zipper on the inside. No platform, just regular combat boot sole. And then obviously the cool little Demonia bottom plate there. Cheers, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you ever considered getting Demonias. Have you checked out the Demonia site? Let me know what kind of Demonia boots you would get if you could pick a pair. I might eventually get the Grave Diggers just to see how platforms are for me and to enjoy the thick soles and the spikes and stuff that go along with them. Very Frankenstein looking. I love Universal Monsters and shit like that. And I think they would go good for my Lonely Cadaver project. So yeah, you might see Gravediggers coming on this channel from Demonia in about a month and a half. Let me know if you're interested in seeing more of those. Let me know if you're interested in seeing the progress of how these boots turn out. Is it a novelty? Is it just a gimmick? Or do they actually hold up? Demonia boots. For glory, for the Rebel Alliance, Slammerella out.